Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
Your podcast has been so great lately.
Yeah?
Oh my God. Yeah, that recent direct access thing was really just, I was like, oh, did you do that? It was so amazing.
You're referring to the one with Jeannie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was to see the transformation so fast, where and you had tracked it, when it switched to self, and you were right on the track. And it's just kind of mystifying to me, your sense of what's needed and where somebody's at.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're doing good work. 373.
Yeah. Very cool.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, so I'm in a place where I know I'm blended with a part, because I can feel the sort of anxious feeling, the somewhat disembodied feeling. But I don't have a grip on what part it is and how to take care of it.
Okay. Want to have a minute of meditation?
Sure.
Okay. I'll set a timer. Okay.
Hi.
Still want to focus on that part?
The only other thought I had was if there were notes from last time that would be good to pick up where we left off. Did you have any?
I may be able to recall. There were 3 parts. A baby, a tantruming brutalizer, and the sleepy part. And we spent most of our time with the sleepy part, and it told us some things and requested that you breathe with it. And you were enjoying being unblended and in the presence of sleepy part.
Oh yeah. And then it was really cool because I did that a bit, like being with the part, that was sort of tied in with some like being immobilized
Mm-hmm.
when I was very young. And it took me like running a couple times, and
Mm-hmm.
that was really fun.
Nice.
Like I felt like I was just super like sticking with the part, and that's what it wanted me to do. And it was very funny because I had had a very long career of running in my head, but never
Mm-hmm.
actually running with my feet. And
Okay.
it was sort of like I connected
Great.
with the part and with my feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, because one of the parts was feeling immobilized.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it was really cool. But but now I just feel like I'm in more of like a disembodied place where I'm not able to get to like exactly which part needs attention. Um, it seems to me like it might be possibly some like mm, managerial kind of, you must be doing something kind of part.
Mm-hmm.
And it may be just a little lost from its mission right now.
Okay.
Like,
Does that one have body sensations that it comes along with?
yeah, it's like a very anxious feeling in my like forehead and probably my jaw too.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel towards it?
Um, hmm, I feel like I want to connect with it better.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess some curiosity about mm, mm, where it, like where it would like to be or what it would
Great.
like from me.
Okay. Can you just find a way to show it that? Show it your curiosity and desire to connect. And ask it what it wants you to know.
Sorry, I was just we went right in, so I put my eye mask on to not have the sunshine be distracting.
Mm-hmm. Getting anything?
Well, I'm feeling like I'm settling in to just a little more presence for it.
Mm-hmm. Is it aware of you?
I don't think it is yet.
Okay. Is that because it's busy looking for things to do?
It does feel pretty. It's a little bit hyper.
Okay. Maybe you can just sidle up next to it and acknowledge it. Acknowledge whatever it is noticing. Acknowledge its energy. Let it know that you're curious.
So I very often see images of like baby, sometimes like fetal images. Right now, it's like a baby being held. My parts show me these baby images a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the baby's kind of, it's so young and it's like occluded.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't see its face.
Mm-hmm.
It may not know its face.
Does it feel like it's the parts that are kind of between you and the baby? These other parts, they feel like the baby is their responsibility and you're kind of on the outside?
Huh. That's possible.
Anything else you notice about it or other intuitions you have about it?
Okay, I was like cold and now I'm sweating. What
Okay.
is this baby showing me?
What's the sweating showing you? I'm also curious. Like, is there a part that has a concern about where you're going when you're looking for the baby or looking towards it? Is that more anxiety? Fear?
So that it's really gone into the sweating.
Okay. Sweating's probably there for a good reason.
Yeah.
Do you have curiosity about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just seems kind of abstract. Like, is it struggling?
Just stay with the sensations. I think it can be made more abstract if we're really trying to figure it out. So just stay with the sensations. There's a part that's causing you to sweat. If you're curious about it, just let it know that you're curious about it. Ask it what it wants you to know. What message does it have for you? What's it trying to accomplish? Does it want to tell me?
We can try that. I mean, I've said that, like, I'm not this, whatever this part is hard for me to connect with and feels like I'm blended with it, but I don't have like a path of unblending.
Are you talking about the part that's making you sweat right now?
Well, it's kind of hyperactive. So it was cold and then it was sweating. And then when I tried to ask it about the sweating, it changed to just being kind of feels like it's sort of moving around.
Does it feel like it has concerns? You could ask it if it has concerns, or ask it if it wants to tell me about its concerns.
It's like moved into my jaw, so maybe that's a sign it wants to tell you something.
Maybe. I'm super curious. And you can tell me anything. And I'll keep listening. And we don't have to share it with anybody else if that's a concern.
The jaw is very sore.
Yeah.
That's the sensation it's showing me.
Okay. There must be a reason for that. It wants you or me to know something. I also want it to know that whatever it says to me, it doesn't have to make sense. It can speak in colors or metaphors or anything. Anything else coming up for you? Sensations, thoughts, messages?
Well, just I get these visuals of like just a very small baby.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you feel towards the baby?
Um, I feel that it's very abstract and uh, I want to stay with it or feel it,
Mm-hmm.
but it just kind of tumbles.
Just
And
so I'm clear,
shifts.
when you say it's very abstract, can you explain more about what you mean by that?
That I can feel that it's a part showing me sensations, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's very like this sort of concrete stories or ways to connect with it or ways to hear from it are just not available.
Okay. What if you try sending out a message to anybody who's listening in there, just to let them know that your door is open, that now's a great time to communicate with you,
Okay.
or with me, or with me. And just see if anyone has something they can show you. And you might say, I see this baby, I see the tumbling, but I don't understand. I know it's important.
Uh-huh.
Does anyone need my attention? Does anyone have a message for me? Or want me to know something? Do you get any response?
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I did get like this pair of yellow eyes. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like sort of like a panther or something flashed at me.
Okay. And what came up as a response to that? Was that a scary thing or
Yeah, it was like
Mm-hmm.
hunting whatever it was looking at.
Okay. Yeah. So a part wants to show you
Yeah.
scary hunting eyes.
I actually think that it feels like it's like a reflection of whatever this is that I'm blended with is
Mm-hmm.
like it's like hunting for something, but it doesn't even know what it's hunting for.
Yeah. Does
And
it?
it
So it
just needs to relax.
kind of feels like you're the
Yeah.
hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes sense to me. It sounds like what I'm hearing is that these parts are reflecting back to you that they're feeling hunted in the way, in the energy that is strongest now. Perhaps as we're exploring, they feel less like there's a curious, compassionate explorer and more like a hunter trying to seek them out, pin them down.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like these managers that I feel blended with. In our first meeting, you identified the hold it together, and I called it like grown up manager.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's more levels of manager. There's more manager parts that are like I haven't unblended from yet. And even that grown up manager one is still pretty abstract. And, I don't always know if I'm blended with it or not. And I think that this like just generalized like anxious feeling is that doesn't know where to go, is that there is something that's like just hunting for something that doesn't even know what it's doing. And that's why it feels so like it's moving around and flashing these like very young, like abstract sensations. And
yeah,
it feels really, I can feel like the tightness of it.
Yeah, let it know all that.
Yeah.
You can feel the tightness of the hunting part. Let it know that it's not alone in there. That you can sense it. And that we'd like to get to know it. It's a welcome part. There are no bad parts. But you can see its energy. And you like to understand it.
Yeah, the yellow-eyed panther was strikingly beautiful.
Yeah.
But it was intense.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it is beautiful. It has a reason for doing what it's doing. You try asking it how it feels to be on the hunt like that for this part.
I'm feeling sad for I don't know if I have another sad part, but it's like when I recognize the hunting, it sort of released some like sadness. I don't know, like just the release of all that tension.
Yeah, just in being recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like a compassionate sadness, a kind of sweet sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just show that part, that compassion that you have. And let it know that the more it shows you about itself, the more you can do for it, the more you can understand it and be present with it.
I'm trying to be open without the hunting energy.
Yep. You could ask it if it wants to meet you in a special space that you could create for it. You could ask it if it wants to join you for tea or for some red meat. Whatever it's into. My parts respond to pizza. How are you feeling?
I feel the part in the sensation that I started with.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's feeling me. I feel
Can we invite any other parts to speak with me?
sure.
Okay. Who's up first? Do we have a location in the body or any description about a part?
It's like in my temples.
Okay, part in the temples. My name's James. I love parts. Will you speak with me? Will you tell me what's up? How you're doing? What's on your mind? How's your heart?
That's a good question.
What do you want?
My heart feels and my temples feel really just like there's so much stuck in there.
Feels like a lot is stuck in there. Yeah, what's that feeling like?
Stuck in the
Is it,
temples and not pumping, not moving through.
is it uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it important? The reason for your role, temple part? Or can you tell me about the importance of that? Because I already assume that it is. Can you tell me what you want to achieve? Or is there someone you're wanting to protect?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a little baby trying to breathe,
Yeah.
little tiny mouth.
Mm-hmm. And what's getting in the way? Or how long has it felt like that? Or what does it need in order to breathe easy? Or how did it get like that? I also wanted to know that I'm not a hunter. I like listening, understanding, connecting. I don't tell parts what to do.
It's just showing me how close it is. Like if it weren't there, I wouldn't breathe.
Okay. So there's a part of you that feels like its presence is what keeps you alive,
Yeah,
keeps you breathing. Yeah,
the temple part.
temple part. How long has it been doing that job for you?
Well, judging by how little it feels in my mouth, like the breathing,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like a baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it really cares about you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'd like to give my appreciation for this part that's looking out for you and your system. How old does it think that you are?
I don't know.
Does it feel alone in its role? Like it's the only one looking out for the one who's struggling to breathe? And will you let it know that I'd like to look out for that too? If I can be of any assistance.
Yeah, I think it liked that
Yeah? Would like,
because it was very fixed and like trained.
yeah. Well, it would have to be if it's looking out for a part that can't breathe without it.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell it to stop or anything. I just really want to understand. What's this about? Who is this? Who is this part and who's the one it's looking out for? What does it need? How can I help? How can yourself help? Because it has that help available. It just might not have noticed because it was so trained on its job, which makes
Yeah.
sense. And that is sad. It's a sad thing to realize for a lot of parts. But if it will let us understand it, we might be able to provide some relief.
Yeah. God, it had my fist like completely tight.
Mm-hmm.
It just,
Is there anything I can do to help this part communicate? If it wants to communicate with me or with you? Is there something we can do to make it more comfortable, make it feel safer?
I mean, I have some part that keeps trying to get relaxation.
Hmm.
But I think this part needs like nothing to try.
Did you say it needs nothing to try?
It just wants to like let go of trying
Yeah.
and be able to believe that I will still breathe and
Yeah. Yeah.
I will be
Ask it.
okay.
Mm-hmm. What would it need in order to believe that? What does it need from you? Or does it need some other part to stop doing something? Just hypothetically, what would its perfect, safe world look like?
So it's showing me like the ocean,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's scared of the ocean.
Mm-hmm. What if it was not alone? What if there was a compassionate self, a part that's bigger than it, and that can make spaces safe? Would it be interested in getting to know that?
Yeah. It wants its feet in the sand, not like being in the ocean.
Yeah. The right distance.
And it wants to play there.
Mm-hmm. And it wants to not have to try so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel towards it?
I feel it's like afraid, and I feel like that is just fine.
You feel like it's
It's
fine for it to be afraid?
just fine to be afraid and to play
Yeah.
where you don't have to make yourself afraid. Like you can just play where you feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you can let it know that. Let it know that you can set up a space for it that's just right for it. It doesn't have to be any
Yeah.
more or less scary than it likes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need to like chase anything. And if it feels like it's being chased, like it's showing me the panther again.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay to feel scared.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that it's scary and that I can be there
That's right.
for what's scary.
Yes. If it will show you, if it will tell you and communicate with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I think it's weird. This is like feels connected with that ankles breaking its ankles.
Mm-hmm.
The running, I call it running away right back, where like it's scared, and instead of like feeling scared and feeling okay to be scared and getting comfort for being scared, it just sort of ran right into like being scared.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like a little kid who has an older brother who's always doing scary things.
Yeah. But it doesn't feel like it has options to really get away or to be in the right zone for it.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
thought that it just had to chase after him, or
Yep.
some sort of neglectful environment.
Mm-hmm. And it's really hard for this part.
Yeah, it didn't know where to find comfort, and so it
Mm-hmm.
just kept running into like what it was scared of.
Yeah. How do you feel towards it?
I feel very much like I want to embrace
Do you feel
this.
accepting of it?
Yes, I feel
Yeah.
I accept, like I
Just the way it is?
accept, yeah, feeling
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
afraid
Yeah. Let
is
it know that. Let
beautiful.
it know that
Like,
you are the accepting one. And you can always be accepting of it. And it can be with you. It can be with you and it can be always accepted. the way it is. And that might take some work. It might take communication and understanding, but that's an option.
Yeah. Like, I guess there's this manager that like really wants it to tell me like when it's afraid so I can address like that fear without it sort of being pushed into more and more anxiety.
Hmm.
But how do I have it show me without it feeling like I'm pushing it? That's me like unblending from whatever this.
Yep. Yeah, the accepting one.
The accepting one is the
Is unblended. The accepting one is self.
Mm-hmm.
The manager wants to get it to do something in order to get it to something else to happen, to fix something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let that manager know that you're here, that you can provide for parts in a way that it can't, and that you appreciate its intention. You accept it too.
Uh-huh.
And you could ask all the parts involved what they need in order for you to keep this line of communication open with this part that needs its own space and needs that acceptance. How can we make that easier?
I just like everything is fine, wanting to sort of like jump away from being afraid.
Mm-hmm.
That needs to give this part some space to just
If they'll just make space
be
for
able to.
self, if they'll let you in, you can provide what it needs. Yeah. So yes, I don't mean to disagree. I'm not disagreeing with you that it needs to give the other part space. But it's about getting yourself in there. So that you're a part of that calculation. What do we do with this anxiety?
Right.
What do we do with this part?
Yep. Yeah, I think I need to recognize like everything is fine as a manager. That manager gets in the way of this part being able to tell me its concerns.
Right. Yeah. And again, that's totally normal. That's what managers do.
This part feels that everything is fine, like wants to push it away.
Yeah.
So now that really helps me unblend from everything is fine.
Right. Right.
Because I didn't know what everything is fine was trying to do so well. But now I understand it's trying to push away like anxieties because everything is fine, wants to like bring in the managers who are going to do all these big important things. But those managers are trying to do all these big important things while this part who's afraid
Scared.
like
Right.
is getting pushed away.
Right.
And so then it makes
Absolutely.
all that managerial energy like so anxious.
Yeah, they're working harder than they need to because they're kind of running over this other part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This part I think has just really, really been pushed far away.
Mm-hmm.
And I really need to spend time like listening to what it's afraid of.
Yep. You got it.
Because I'm sure it has really, really valuable information for me.
I'm sure it does. Do you know how to make that happen? Is there any negotiating to do with any of these parts to continue doing just that?
Well, I'm just making space. I'm just kind of making space for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big open space for
Mm-hmm.
it to show me what it's afraid of.
Yep.
And I feel everything is fine, like wanting to come in, but
Yeah.
everything is
She
fine, needs to,
needs to have its own space.
yeah, it can't come in this space.
Right. That's it. But again, not because everything is fine is a bad part, just because parts need their own space. They need their own accepting space with self.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if it has anything in this space where its feet are like on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything more it wants to tell me about how it can feel safe. Or what should I ask it?
Well, I think you are 100% in the right place with the right intuition, and that is to continue witnessing and learning from this part. It sounds like an exiled part, and it does have a lot to tell you. So
Yeah.
you're doing it. Your questions are right. Just tell me anything, including your fears. And that can take some time. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to do more of that with you. I don't know if you're on the calendar again. We can schedule
Yeah.
something sooner than later. If not,
Yeah,
but
I'm on the calendar soon.
great.
We
But
can come back
otherwise,
to it.
otherwise you're doing it. So just keep doing that.
Great.
Yeah.
So the fearful part that's sort of been pushed around, like it was moving all over and it was showing me a lot of different stuff. I think maybe like a trailhead to it is, I think the everything is fine part is a little more easy for me to guide me there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I know the everything is fine part is the protector of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
maybe we can trail our way there that way.
Yep. Got it.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, James, it's hard like this being like recorded for a podcast because it's just sometimes so abstract to get to something that I can work with.
Yeah, it's parts inside of you. It's not something that you can only communicate it so well, and that goes for any of us. So you're doing fine. And you can just think of the recordings as being for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Looking forward to our next talk.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, send me any questions or concerns, and that goes for any of these parts. If they want to send me a text any time of day,
Great.
I'd love to hear from them.
Okay. I appreciate the Discord so much. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. See ya. Bye. Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows, that might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube, and they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.